This reminds me of it.
Yeah, really does. He does good old chat there from DPK Miero.
He baited him there on the Darkseer. Like, Ember thought he had a kill, but because of the levels, Nero heals up and runs away. This innate aggrandizes, even with the nerf, pretty damn cool.
It's very fun, right? It reminds me, where in Warcraft was it when you get a level, you heal back up? Well, I mean, I know in World of Warcraft, there were some mods, some other maps in Warcraft 3 as well.
Maybe some custom game, not in the normal one.
It does remind me of old times for sure. 1k goalie for Vedbull. How do you think now generally the Huskar's game will develop? Is this a huge problem for Huskar? How is he at farming and coming back?
He is bad. Like, in general, he is bad at coming back. And if you can crush this guy in the laning stage, well, in pubs, usually you don't get to the mid game because Huskar players are usually unstable and then they just rage out. But in pro games, of course, it's a bit different. So we will see how Quinn responds to this.
He has an armlet. I mean, it's still a decent-ish timing. So let's see if maybe with some armlet toggles he can make a difference. He's pinging out the bottom lane. Let's see if anybody will be being there. No, really, he's gonna do it himself.
Or will he? Yeah, not enough. Even with the passive, not enough damage.
That was close a couple of times, you know. If there was somebody there just smacking the arrow once, he would have died.
Look at the smoke straight onto Quinn. Oh no.
He is... He's gonna get super annoyed. Why is there always a billion heroes first in my lane, then when I go farming? Quinn will die. The tips are flying out. They're trying to tilt the mid laner of GG.
Yeah, playing a Huskar being 0-4 is never fun. Especially when your safe lane is an Ember. It's not like your classic late game hero. Global is there. They could use it.
Using it right now. The chase didn't connect, went to the creep. Wheel of Wonder being used as the hero will be going nowhere. Malady loses his life to the Arcane Curse. Kataomi becoming a little bit smarter as the stun onto the Ember. That's straight to get the slot of his. Kataomi gets himself out in time, and Watson now is surrounded. The wall is keeping in place even when he uses the remnants. They're so slow. Arcane Curse being used. Quinn, he's back. He's gonna be silencing Miero, trying to finish him off, and maybe this is time for him to come back into the game. This time around, Miero will not be going anywhere, but the two heroes that annoyed you in the mid lane will continue to do so. Even with the heals from the Illuminate, it is not enough. They do bring in Ace. He does see the Pure
is coming.
Tofu trying to get himself away, and as you mentioned, Pure coming from the side, ready with the crits. Kataomi is just getting all of that intelligence, but Maladish, beautiful macro fire, they will die with the overtime damage. At least the silencer will, but the Malady will follow immediately afterwards. GPK doesn't have the stun, and Ace might just be able to bring him down in the end. They will be able to do it, but at the cost of his own life. A bloodbath in the bottom lane that in the end still favors Bedbull.
I'm cringing right now watching these fights for GG. They're just not working out at all. At least they get a couple of kills, but the Huskar is just demolished. Poor Quinn, he joins the fight again, gets an assist, not even a kill, and then he dies once more afterwards. I mean, you know, losing all this int, like he doesn't have mana to work with anyway, but he's losing base magic resistance, right? Is that how it works with intelligence anyway? So it is something every time he dies. The brain drain is real. This silencer has 10 already stolen to his name. Just go right click, man, at this point, you know? Just axe out the glaives.
They know they have to fight. They're not coming back into this game by farming the items that they went for, especially with PA with a Battle 3. Global Silence being used, Table will be protected. That'll be a 7-kill streak that you're going to be getting, and it is just not going to be loud. Wheel of Wonder going to be connecting. They're making sure that even this Watson Ember doesn't do enough. Arcane Curse, can he survive through it? Using the Sleight of Fist to dodge the damage, to deny himself. Kataomi from afar still continues to drain those brains from his opponents. GG are helpless in the last game of the series.
Absolutely. That boom just demonstrating why they were considered the strongest team at the beginning of the year. Ember, I mean, with Sleight of Fist, you can maybe try to deny yourself, but you're not going to run away from Arcane Curse damage that way, right? We're just aggravating it.
You are delaying your death, but you're increasing the chances that you will die by increasing the duration of it.
Yeah.
100% right.
Only 5k advantage, though, all things considered. I mean, it is 15 minutes 5k advantage, which is massive, but still an advantage that we've seen worse. Advantages in a comeback as well.
I like that GG are not giving up from this we're gonna run into, right? Especially now, there's no global silence. It is a perfect time to come for a fight. If there wasn't one, they probably would have killed Sage earlier. They've been looking towards the Dark Side. That has been the hero that I've killed a couple times. Slimmer Cave will protect him from the macro power. We'll see for how long. And there's the rotation from TPK. Who also joining in on the fight. They can't really save Malady. Miero gets himself away, still quite healthy.
A really hard target in this situation to go on. They wanted to contest the Tormentor. It was a good plan, but Darkseer breaks the smoke. He has mech. There's a Glimmer as well to save him. It was really difficult to take the Darkseer down.
They tried their best, and Bedroom's positioning was just awesome. They had heroes on the top lane close to the win gate, and they just came over. A big item, though, does come out from GG. That is the Radiance from the Abaddon. Talk to me about this one. Does this change, and rather, how much does this change?
Well, it's pretty good, right? Like a lot of rifles from the PA, from Dragonite. I feel like maybe it even enables them to fight. And this Abaddon with Radiance is one of the reasons why the Ember can afford to go for a Mage Slayer-esque build, right? Because you also have a core that will be scaling quite heavily from the offlane. I like it. I just feel that Abaddon isn't without an answer, without a solution in this game. The solution for the Abaddon are PA plus Silencer, right? Once the PA gets a shard, it might not be that easy for Ace to be the ultimate carry of the game. It sometimes happens on that offlane Abba.
This happens from time to time. Also, what happens from time to time is Fissure tournaments, everybody. And if you want to be updated with every one of them that is coming up, exclamation mark in the chat or the banner down below, to follow our social media. Be informed when the next content, the next tournament is going to be sent out. The bottom, they do see the Silencer on the war. This is a solid skill that you can get.
Global even.
He does use the global. Glimmer Cake was used instantly dusted, so some big things forced out by GG. It will cost them a Jakiro on the other side of the map. Will Wonder making sure that he is taken out. Now they have a Radiance of their own.
Yeah, that's another thing, by the way, that you asked, but I didn't really think of. The illusion, of course, the wall on Abaddon. Now you get everything from him, and Radiance included, which can come in handy in these fights.
Sure. We'll see just how much. It is. The gold lead hasn't really been increased, so Bedroom. We'll see if they can do it. But Cure is getting quite big. BKB being. Is this go time for Bedroom, or are you still comfortable waiting? And if so, when is the timing when you say, okay, guys, now we are most definitely stronger. Let's finish this.
Well, they don't have global right now, so maybe they can wait for that. But BKB Battle Fury is generally the time for PA to join fights when her team is struggling, right? You get the Battle Fury BKB and you start joining all these fights because you've been only farming. The point that I'm making, though, is Pure hasn't been only farming. He's 8-1-4. It's been go time for him since minute 5, it seems.
Let's see. Let's have definitely slowed down in this game. Allowing Quinn to get very close to his BKB, but it would be pretty bad if they kill him right now. The worst time to die just before you finish your BKB, and that's exactly what's going to be happening to the mid lane of the game of Gladiators.
wonder what GPK will be building. Hold that thought. Mid lane Ace. They might jump him here.
They want him dead. That is the one hero that hasn't really been joining too much in fights, but still has Corey Death to his name. Maybe just try to force out the borrow time. Doesn't have the aquatic shield to slow down these, or to remove these slows. Now this ulti can survive. Global Silence is ready. EA being kept at bay as the Dragonite is coming from the side, but they do go for Malady. Seems that the DK will be the only dragon on this map for now.
And they missed the big kill. They do get something out of it, of course, but he's definitely lucky that he'll manage to survive this time around. Going for that Manta, necessary this game, right? Like into the break later on, into the global as well. It can be helpful.
Coming back to the Woods of the Living GG and that BKB of the Husker that we talked about, almost done. Just one more ancient camp. Is that go time for GG? Is that an item that can really change the game?
I feel like it has to be. Like you get that, and perhaps this Manta, and you try to force out some fights. But it's the ball is in Bad Boom's hands. They're just controlling the game completely.
In such a bad position they might find him. They're looking towards the Abaddon. Gets stunned there by the neutral crease. Might allow Ace to survive. He doesn't have his ulti for 8 seconds, so no such luck. Even with the help of the neutrals, it's not enough.
Hey, Quinn just...
Quinn.
Yeah, he just got the BKB from the courier.
They saw him. They saw him with the courier of the Ringmaster. Recall not gonna be happening. He does get stunned up. At this point, you do not want to BKB. Just accept your death. Or 8th death in this game.
Yes, his TP was on cooldown. So, what can you do? Like, you got the BKB, but you can't BKB fight. You can't BKB TP out. He just dies and accepts it. He is lower net worth than save Ringmaster.
Makes sense. Mid-lane counterparts. High net worth than him. Happened.
Yeah.
I think save is gonna die in this game. He's 8-0 and 16. Like, what are the chances that they're gonna finally bring it out somehow?
Very, very low. I don't want to curse his gameplay, but he's been absolutely beastly. And it's a hard hero to kill once he gets a good start. You get a lot of your charges on your the lights or whatever they're called. The Glimmer Cave, the Escape Act, just so many different ways to... Look at the smoke though, I might have cursed him.
Yeah, they do have a global silence. Once they used it to save his life, Glimmer Cave to protect himself goes for the Escape Act, and now the global silence will be coming out. He uses the spotlight as well, and it is going to be Malady who drops down first. Out of his doing a decent amount of damage, but the vacuum onto the two of them, while not of it. Ace Illusion looking towards Watson in the backline. Pure is just killing Quinn as well, who's gonna have to pop his BKB and fight, run. He's not sure. On the other side of the fight, they are chasing Watson. He's jumping around, and the crit
Husker is dead.
will end Quinn once again. Bad Boom, they might have lost the silencer. Position 5 is such a small price to pay to annihilate your opponents one more time. They did find save, but killing him is a completely different story. Pure is the one delivering finishing blows to every single one. They want to give him the rampage. Going forward, there is a remnant on the Ember, but he turns around with a sleight of fist, and Pure, thinking about going in, he will decide against it. Way too risky.
He really wanted that one. I think that one was for the glory, not really for just ending or sealing the deal, because it was a dangerous play, even though he has Aegis. This fight, once again, a disaster for game, and you go in on a position 4 that you cannot even take down. In the end, they get the silencer, but I'm sure that Bad Boom are not really worried about losing a silencer that already used his global silence.
With the fighters, though, BKB on Pure, maybe this is the time to make something happen. You have to kill him twice, and he's probably gonna have that one back. 15 seconds is gonna be there. By being used, escape back, they do get the Darkseer out of harm's way. Macro Park completely off the marks. Fist chains will connect. Vacuum and the Wheel of Wonder will allow the Darkseer to escape. Now Malady's the one who's dropping low. They're gonna try to go for a P8. That is a hero with an Aegis, and he will have the BKB after he dies. Even if you manage to kill him, they're gonna have to ult to control Pure. He's playing around this wall, and finally the take him down once. There should be a nice path waiting for him. Use right now Global Silence as well. They try to do some damage to absolutely nothing to him. He will be forcing out the ulti from the Abaddon and going for a TP out. It's an 8-second BKB.
Save.
They have to use finally a solid fight for them. Save. Can they get him out? No chains, no Yules. Just in time, a huge streak will not be taken away from him. But GG are not done. Well, now they are Glimmer Cave, and then escape there from the Silencer will be enough to dissuade them from the chase.
Yeah, Ace, he has been building towards the Manta, so no Harpoon, nothing like that to help in these chases, and they only get what, an Aegis? That's basically it out of that fight. Meanwhile, they also had to buy back on the Jakiro. So, all in all, another win for Bedboom. But it looked a bit better. On the other side, the cost as well was a BKB charge from the Huskar, another one.
It's a bummer, but also PA did use their charge as well. So, I mean, that fight, was that signs of life from GG? Looked okay, right?
I would say so, yeah. Especially because they are 15k behind, and they still managed to not lose the fight.
Ultimately, power down now, looking towards the PA. Pure to get away, Surge in the Glimmer Cave.
That's beautiful.
The three of them impale Bernards, and here comes the Wheel of Wonder being positioned in such a good spot, looking towards Ace. You will be fine for now, but you've already lost your Huskar. So what will you do once your ulti is out? Bedboom had found their opening. Just go for a shade. It's a very nice ice path from Malady to protect these buddies. And in the backline is Watson, who's doing his best to keep them all at bay. Malady, that is going to be a dieback. And Purist, not done. One more crit. He does get him a double this time around with Tofu surviving a consolation prize for GG.
I mean, I wouldn't call this any sort of a prize, really. A Keeper of the Light managing to survive. They just ran into a perfect combo. Dark's here, like that was the easy. He's just standing there, and they run up to him for a perfect vacuum into a wall, into this Wheel of Wonder. By the way, I have to say one thing. Save is making this hero look even better than it truly is, and even easier than it is to play. Okay, Tame the Beast, Impalement Arts, not the hardest spells to cast, but Wheel of Wonders, you can sometimes miss. Like, sometimes it doesn't connect. I haven't seen a single Wheel of Wonders that didn't connect in the last game or in this one.
Every one of his Wheel of Wonders have, right? He just knows what to do, and he's using it at the right time when his teammates can keep people close to it. GG, though, they're still not giving up. They still want to fight, and that's the only thing that their lineup can do.
It seems like they want to do it. They're converging down bottom, maybe a smoke. I don't think they have one, do they? They do not, but at Boom they do have a smoke, and there's no reason for them not to take these engagements.
When he's gonna be the first one to get hit by the smoke, gets into the trees just in time. For now, he will be safe. For now.
Malady, though, is coming too close.
Dagger. Fisherman Quinn goes for a TP out without the BKB. Oh, that Malady getting closer. It actually killed the Huskar, because if they go for him first, he pops the BKB. TP out probably makes it out. This way, there's just no chance.
That's a 7-second BKB, not the... Yeah, sometimes you can just use that, right, and TP away. He risked it, got punished once more. In this game, is 22k advantage with a PA that almost has a Satanic. Keep in mind that it's a Dragonite that went first item Midas. This isn't like some Blink Dragonlance Maid Slayer Dragonite that we're used to. This one actually does scale. He's got Mjolnir on top of the Midas, and he's winning these early game engagements, or mid game at this point. I love his itemization and the gameplay.
We're gonna see a Black Dragon from what it seems. Also, we will see a normal punch from the Darkseer in just 150 gold. Items are just gonna be flying out for Bedboom. At this point, in those fights, they look stronger, but not overwhelmingly. I think when they get this next round of items, they're just gonna be no contest.
Yeah, and everyone is getting something. Like you mentioned, the Silencer Axe being queued up, Aghanim's and Darkseer is flying out. massive items coming to them.
On last hurrah, GG, they want to stay in this game. They want to get into the grand finals today. See if it will be allowed. Quinn uses his ulti. It is BKB and now looking towards GPQ. It's going to be protected. Wheel of Wonder being used. They're going to have the vacuum to get him closer, but they're already in trouble as Pure goes in. Make sure that one of the cores is out. Quinn out of the equation. He cannot buy back, cannot rejoin his team. They are going to be taking Maladish next. And Ace now, without his ulti, should be an easy target. Still a fast hero. It's the phase boost, but the slows are there. Normal punch as well, and Pure, another hit will get him the kill. Now Watson, next on the menu, does have a remnant back and should be able to survive a bit longer. Not too much. GPK still following through, and the Scary Ember will be taken down just like the rest of his teammates.
Yeah, and the GG is called by Maladish. Malady. Wow, like Bedboom, when they're winning, they're truly rolling over their opponents. And you could see it once again, a little bit of geniusness coming from that mid lane. A duo from Save and Dragonite. I feel like that was definitely a different approach to what we're used to in these Huskar games. Every team has something in store for the Huskar. Someone dodges the lane, someone plays with the equilibrium, some teams just get very good counter picks. That one, they just dual laned him. Darkseer might have started off poorly, right, dying twice in a row. But in the end, it evens out because he, at minute, I don't know, 6, Darkseer has 7 CS, but so does Huskar. I think Huskar had 6 CS and 2 denies. 0-12-1. This is probably one of the worst games of Quinn's competitive history, I would say, competitive career. 0-12-1.
Poor guy, really. And that was the last big Huskar. So you knew what you were getting yourself into. Or actually, you didn't, because Bedboom just innovated a bit too much. You know what the scary part is, Lizard? I think Bedboom could have played this game even better. It just, they died on Miro in the bottom lane. There were a couple of fights where Gaiman were looking to overtake them. But the general consensus is Bedboom came into this game understanding what they need to do. And
Absolutely. Won basically all 3 lanes. Bot lane, of course, Darkseer. Oh, 2 lanes. Darkseer did not win his, but he got enough to come back. Started creep skipping a little bit later on down the line. 19-1-9 on the PA. But I feel like even though Pure had a fantastic game, the real MVP is the save Ringmaster. Just by moving mid lane, or whoever made that call. They completely caught Gaiman off guard, and what's funny is like no one went there to help out. Jakiro did, but it's a bit too late. I guess Coddle can't really do a lot, since he needed to stick around and babysit Abaddon anyway. So this guy absolutely deserving of the MVP.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing. His understanding of what needs to do is amazing, and I feel like he is the one that there was nothing that he could have done better. His spell usage, his placement on the map, his ideas, all of them on point, always itemization as well. Just knowing that he just needs to stay alive. It was a treat to watch, really. I can't say I'm impressed because Save almost always does this, but he's a hell of a player.
9-0-27 with almost no spells missed. Hell of a player, and I'm still impressed. I'm still impressed. He's making these supports that aren't really in the meta, like off-meta supports work. I know that Ringmaster isn't like some other heroes that are almost played, that aren't played at all, like an Omni Knight or something. But still, he makes the Ringmaster work, he makes the techies work as well, that I believe no one else is playing, so a really good game by Bedboom. The strategical approach as well, just preparing for the Huskar and completely destroying Quinn's game.
This was a really nice way to get into it. It's very deserving. So, they've already GG and Bedboom, by getting into the upper bracket final, secured that they are going to be playing on the last day, but GG will have to play tomorrow beforehand if they want to get a rematch versus the Bedboom. And they are going to be playing versus the winner of our next series. It's going to be Team Falcon Bound coming your way